The UFC's light heavyweight division is set to heat up with the upcoming fight between Jiri Prochazka and Jamahal Hill, and to stir things up, the two fighters have already started taking shots at each other. Jiri Prochazka lost his cool last night and went off on Jamahal Hill and Magomed Ankalaev. The Russian, in turn, wasn't too happy about Jiri's statement and fired back, adding even more tension to the light heavyweight division. First, check out the intimidating message Jiri Prochazka directed at Ankalaev and Jamahal Hill, where he didn't hold back and put both fighters in their place. Hello, time to say something after a long time. I'm really looking forward for my next fight. Jamahal, don't speak about my performances, fight IQ, and all these things, because in your last fight, you didn't show nothing, really. And this same guy, Ankalaev, in your last 3 fights, you showed totally nothing, so stay on the ground. Okay, so that's it. See you on 18th of January, I'm going to win. Ankalaev didn't take kindly to the way Jiri talked about him and fired back with a strong message for the former champion. He even mentioned Alex Pereira, promising to make the Brazilian look like an average fighter when he gets the chance to face the current champion. Hey, why you talk about me? 2 of your last 3 fights you went to sleep. Alex made you go to sleep, but I will make Alex go to sleep, and I believe Jamahal Hill will make you sleep also. Your new name is Sleepy Jiri. Focus on your fight. This is fake news. He got knocked out 2 times in his last 3 fights. He cannot say nothing. He is about to get knocked out in this fight too. This is not a high-level fight. This is a bar fight. Hey Alex, enjoy life champ while you can. You have been a great champion, but your time is up. See you soon. Dana White told my team I'm next for Alex. Thank you for clearing this today. One thing I can tell you is I never turn down a fight or choose opponents. I believe I'm the best in the world. Media need to ask the UFC about this. I will punish Alex Pereira in my next fight, and I will make him look average. I'm going to beat Alex Pereira in March, and I will give him a rematch in July, and then I will beat one of these bums like Jamahal Hill and Jiri in Abu Dhabi in October. Ankalaev has been much more active on social media, regularly showing up to provoke his rivals. Jamahal Hill has already been a target of the Russians' taunts, and the American hit back hard, slamming Ankalaev for his online antics and sharing his thoughts on who he believes would win in a fight between Ankalaev and Alex Pereira. I want to knock out Magomed just because to me, he's a bitch, and he fucking talks like a bitch and reacts like a bitch. So I don't really fuck with him much, at all, so fuck him. I'm not even talking to this weirdo, and he's coming and trying to take shots at me because he's so fucking lame, and he sees that the fanbase kind of has a thing for me, so he kind of tries to ride that wave. Couple other people do that shit, but he's the cheesiest fucking one that does it. Even after they announced the Khalil Rountree fight at UFC 307, I thought it should have been Magomed. So I said that, and this motherfucker is trying to talk about I was crying? Hold on, I'm just saying what I'm thinking. You want real beef? I can do beef like that, fuck you. Alex Pereira is a pressure fighter, leaves himself exposed to counters. Ankalaev counters with combinations, so there will be openings for him there to land. Plus, Ankalaev's a southpaw, so that's another factor of the puzzle that he's going to have to figure out. Then the wrestling from Ankalaev, so I definitely give him a chance. I give Ankalaev the big chance at winning it, just because of the style he fights. He draws things out. Jamahal Hill embarrassed himself in his fight against Alex Pereira, and after suffering that brutal knockout, the American still doesn't seem to have gotten over the Brazilian. He openly admits that between a title fight and a rematch against Pereira, he would 100% choose the latter. 100%. I believe Alex now has put his name on a level that kind of transcends the title, you know. Just to have that name on my resume and go in and just do what I know how to fight should have went for the first time. It was what I expected, Pereira versus Rountree. He did exactly what I expected them to do. Obviously, you get being able to dominate at the highest level inside the UFC is impressive in its own right. But for the level that I believe he was on, that's what I expected. I expected Khalil to have some success because I know the southpaw stance is a little bit tricky for Alex, but I ultimately knew Khalil lunges too much to get in the range for a tall range, and I knew he wouldn't have that same popping explosive to be able to get to him and touch him consistently or enough. But he did surprise me in the fact that he dropped him in and then backed off. That was weird. Jiri Prochazka has also been knocked out twice by Alex Pereira and was asked what he felt when he met the Brazilian in person at UFC Fight Night in Mexico. No feelings. My feelings towards him haven't changed at all. I have respect for my opponents, and I also have respect for many other people. And that respect doesn't change after our fights. So we just shook hands. We've met here twice and that's all. When I was with him in the gym, I was wondering if I would have such an opportunity to sparring Alex Pereira. And if I do, I'll definitely go for it. But I wondered if I could control myself. I was a bit worried that I would go full gas. But of course, I'm not going to be an idiot who's going to iron out my results from previous fights and sparring. But I thought, if I get the chance, I would definitely do it. It's all good. He was here to do some business. I just came here for a fight camp, so we met here a couple of times. Jiri Prochazka also stated that he's determined to continue his journey to the title and responded when asked if he believes a win over Jamahal Hill would earn him a title shot. This is not up to me. It's about the UFC, the organization, and Dana White and all these guys who is doing the matchmaking. So no, I will not push myself like I did the first time. I need to go for the title fight. I need to go for the title fight. I think like that in my first 3 fights in UFC, but right now I want to not enjoy the fights, but really directly win from opponent to opponent. I'm starting to be real in UFC in the light heavyweight division, and I feel great. I feel there's a good guys. Right now, Ankalaev, Alex Pereira, both of these guys, I would like to. Doesn't matter who will be first, I would like to see them as an opponent. But right now there is Jamahal Hill, and let's go for that. As for his fight against Jamahal Hill, Jiri Prochazka has openly said he'll go all out against the American, just like he always has throughout his career. It's the fight I wanted. It's a fight that has been on the table for quite some time, and I am very glad for the opportunity of that fight. At this moment, it is probably the most logical move, and that's why I'm here. My preparation. For me, right now he's a really good opponent, and I wanted that fight. Because I feel this is my chance to take a victory and go back for the belt. To prove what I'm working on. What I saw in Jamal's fight, I can expect. He has the power in his punches, but I will not say everything about him, but I can say just that I can see the space to catch him, and everything is about the movement. About the movement, he's a southpaw, and I have many opponents with this stand. So I will be prepared for that, for the body variation, because he always changed the guards just as me. My key is to win directly, go straight, because that's my style, and I will keep that. I will just upgrade that little mistakes that cost me a lot in my last fights, especially with Alex Pereira. So something I need to upgrade, to work on, and right now it's the time to do that. I'm looking forward to that fight. We saw each other many times, so I think we know what we can expect, and I will prove that my style is better. Well, folks, it's clear the atmosphere in the light heavyweight division is intense, and Alex Pereira is constantly being targeted by his opponents, especially with all the talk on social media. But what do you think? Do you believe Alex Pereira can be defeated by anyone in the light heavyweight division? If so, which fighter do you think has the best chance? Drop your thoughts in the comments so we can chat about it. If you're really into MMA and like staying updated on everything happening in the fight world, you've got to check out these other 2 pieces of content popping up on your screen. These 2 videos are super important, and I'm sure you'll enjoy them and stay informed about the latest MMA news. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like to help spread the content. We're in this together. See you next time.